So today's topic, where are your blind spots? And it's often difficult to see the bigger picture, to consider other perspectives when we find ourselves in certain situations. And often this means that what we do see excludes those blind spots, the aspects that when they're brought into our awareness, when they're brought to our attention, can make a huge difference to the way that we both experience life and the way that we live our life. And without being able to view our blind spots, we run the risk of living a life of average, turning or turning that self-talk and the noise into things that hold us back. And we fail to see the bigger picture, the wider possibilities that are out there for us. So this is the topic I wanted to share a little bit with you today, just to bring some of this into your awareness. And I have some notes, as always, that I prepared earlier that I will be referring to. So if you have any questions, any comments, if any of this resonates, then do please comment in the box below. Let me know as well. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from today. If you've watched before, if this is your first time joining me here on My Brand Live. And as I said, ask any questions and I will endeavor to answer them either here on the live or on the replay. If you're watching on replay, do hashtag replay as well. So when I talk about blind spots, often we will be experiencing maybe a problem, a challenge, something that we're looking to address, maybe we're trying to overcome. It could be we have a difficult decision to make. So to give some examples in the context maybe of work, it could be that we feel like we've become stuck where we are and we're thinking about the choices that we have. Now, what are our options? Do we stay? Do we just continue as we are? Do we change, do something different? Okay, so what is that? How do we do that? What options are there open to me? All of those questions that start to come up for us. Maybe dealing with a difficult person. That could be personally or professionally. It could be somebody that you find you conflict with a lot in the workplace, or someone you just don't get on with. And that can be in your personal life as well. It's really impacting you. Maybe you're living in fear, whether it's a fear of failure in your life, in your career, other people's opinions and judgment of you. And I've talked about this before in previous lives and about how you can overcome that fear of worrying about people's judgment. Maybe fearing success and what will happen if you do really well, because oftentimes this is where imposter syndrome comes up. Maybe you get those promotions you've been striving or working so hard for, but then you find yourself in that senior position and you're thinking, I don't belong here. How did I even get here? Maybe I'll get found out. And all of that inner self-talk that really doesn't serve us. So we all experience one or more aspects of this at some point in our life. It could even be that we're lacking, as I said, I was early in my career, lacking the confidence, the self-esteem, the feeling that we're not good enough, that we've got no value to offer, that nobody will listen to us because we've got nothing worthy to say. We may be having insecurities which are brought about from a past experience or people in the past or who said something to us, or something that happened when we were growing up. So there's so many aspects to all of this. There's a lot going on, and let me know if any of this resonates for you. And here's the thing, we don't often see the things that are holding us back in terms of the thoughts that we're having, the beliefs that we hold, the assumptions that we're making that are likely to be holding us back. And so by opening up your awareness to those blind spots, you widen your awareness. And this is really, really powerful. It's about developing your own self-awareness of what's going on for you. And it's a different way of looking at things, looking at a situation in a different way that can help you to come out of that situation, or to make that decision that you're exploring because you're struggling. Perhaps you're procrastinating because you don't know what to do, or you're worried that you make the wrong decision, or something might not work out as you had intended. So there's all of this inner talk, these situations that we find ourselves in. And here's the thing, by recognizing that there are blind spots, we all have them. It's like driving a car. There's always going to be that blind spot to our side, and we have the mirrors that help to reflect that back to us. In the same way, that's the benefit and the value of having someone to speak to about that, whether it's a mentor, a coach, somebody that you can trust in the workplace, or even a partner maybe who really understands where you're at and can help you with a situation. And it doesn't have to be that if it's a work issue, you speak to a person in the workplace, because it may be that somebody in your family, maybe a partner who understands you and understands your what you're striving for, can probably recognize quicker than the person at work who doesn't know you so well what's really going on for you. Ultimately, whatever is going on for you, it all comes back to you. And this is so, so powerful when we get to realize that. And actually, I had a client call this morning, and one of the first things he said, we've been working together now probably for about 3 to 4 months. And he actually said that he's realized all these things that were going on for him, which are things that he kind of brought to the table when we started working together, all come back to him. And it's very easy, and he said this himself, and we all do, it's very easy to look outside of ourselves and to focus on the people around us, or the situations. Maybe it's your colleagues, it's your manager, it's your partner, it's your parents, it's your child. It's somebody else's fault, or they need to do something differently, they need to change, and then I will feel better, I'll feel happier. And actually what my client realized over the last few weeks, and he talked about it this morning, is that everything comes back to you. It comes back to who you are being, how you were showing up. Let me give you some examples of that. The things that you can control, that when I talk about it all starting with you, we create our life, we create our reality, we create our own experiences simply by the way that we show up, who we are being in the moment, and the way that we perceive the world around us. So these are some of the things that we do that blur that, as he called it, it's like a smoky mirror that doesn't really serve us, because we choose not to see past that to what's really going on for us. Some of the things that will hold us back is our inner self-talk. The things that we say to ourselves, that typically we put ourselves down, we beat ourselves up, we show ourselves less compassion that we would probably show somebody else. The question I always ask is, the way that you talk to yourself in your mind, would you talk to a child in that way? And the likelihood is no, because we always look to encourage and bring children up with us, and to show them, encourage them to do more, to be more, to try more. Whereas with ourselves, we're like, we try something, it doesn't work, we beat ourselves up, tell ourselves we're not good enough, or maybe we don't deserve it, or whatever it might be. And then we leave ourselves feeling demoralized, demotivated, maybe not wanting to try again. So really tune into your inner self dialogue. What are you saying to yourself? How are you talking to yourself? Are you showing yourself compassion? Are you stopping to recognize the successes that you have, your accomplishments, your wins? Do you pat yourself on the back? Do you go and celebrate? These are all things that will start to slow you down and bring these things into your awareness, and therefore impact directly the way that you show up, both for yourself and for the people around you. What else is there? There's the noise. There's a noise around us. People, the media, social media, whether it's people that you work with, your friends, your peer group, everyone has an opinion and a view, and is telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. The media might be talking about this is what you should be wearing. This is how you should do your hair. This is the latest fashion. These are the places you should be going to. These are the hobbies you should have, the sports you should get involved in. And everyone's got an opinion and a view as to what you should and shouldn't be doing. But here's the thing. Learn to shut down the noise and tune into yourself and ask yourself, what is it I want to be doing? How do I want to be spending my time? Who do I want to be spending my time with? And what does that look like? What do I want to be doing on my weekends? Do I want to be doing something so I can go in and talk about it in the office on Monday morning and impress everyone? Or do I want to be doing something that lights me up, that maybe doesn't impress everybody in the office, but I don't care because I'm fulfilled and I'm happy? And that is a difference. Close down the noise and really start to tune into what it is you want to be doing. Who do you want to be? What is a life that you want to be living? Because otherwise we get pulled in so many different directions, and then we're living life on other people's terms. And it's very similar to having to listening to other people's opinions. And remember, everyone has got an opinion, everyone's got a point of view. Whose do you listen to? I'm not suggesting you listen to nobody. What I'm suggesting is you are mindful of who you do listen to and why you're listening to them. For example, are they people that you trust, that you know believe in you, that have your back, who want the best for you, who have your intentions whose intentions are front of mind for you? Or is it coming from a place of insecurity, of fear, of wanting to pull you back because it makes them feel better, or pull you down because they want to get up? You've got to check in with yourself. And when you do this, you'll start to recognize that actually, why should I listen to that person? Their opinion is of no value, because they're not coming from a place of sincerity. They maybe don't know me. They have come from a different upbringing, a different background, a different belief system, a different set of values. All of these things that can be different mean that their point of view may not land with you, may not resonate for you, it may not be the right thing for you. So tuning into it and being more aware of the noise, the things that are being said around you, and then being mindful to what you listen to, what you're connecting with. What else is there? There is the fears and the insecurities. And we have so many fears that we carry with us, whether it's a fear of, as I said earlier, it could be a fear of failing. And that could be a failing in terms of in the job that you're doing. Maybe you've been promoted, but you feel there's a part of you feels there's imposter syndrome, that you're not good enough, you're not really ready for this, that you're inexperienced. All of those, that's, again, it's a self-talk. So being aware of what you're telling yourself, and also stopping to ask yourself, is what I'm telling myself actually true? Where is that coming from? Why do I feel this way? So having a more effective conversation with yourself, where you're asking yourself those questions. So building that self-awareness of what you're saying to yourself, and then checking in with yourself to ask yourself, well, why am I having this conversation? Why am I thinking these thoughts? And how are they actually helping me? Are they helping me, or are they actually holding me back from moving forward? We have insecurities around missing out. So maybe, we compare ourselves, comparisonitis, the worst thing that you can possibly do, because we're all on our own paths. We've all had different experiences. We're all heading in different directions. So comparisonitis does not serve us in any way. So please do not do that. If you look at other people and they inspire you, or they motivate you to work even harder, whether let's say it's your health, and there's someone who's done really, really well with their health and fitness, and they've lost loads of weight and they're looking great and they're feeling good, and you want to be like them. That's inspiration. That's motivation. That's not about comparison and looking at them thinking, well, it's okay for them because, and I can't. Maybe you can't do the same things that they did to achieve those results. But then by seeing them as an inspiration or motivation for you, what can you do? What works for you to be able to achieve an improved level of fitness and well-being? So think about the world as opportunity, of possibilities, and open up, because the world is full of an abundance of those opportunities and possibilities, if only we shift our perceptions. The other thing I want to mention is assumptions. Never, ever assume. So when we make assumptions about situations, about people, about what somebody did or didn't do, oftentimes it's in a negative way. It's in a way that we are putting ourselves down, or making ourselves feel bad, or thinking the worst. And many a time we're wrong, but we have no idea, because we've made that assumption, and maybe we move on. We don't call somebody back because we think they're upset with us. Maybe they were having a really bad day and they took it out on you. But it wasn't personal, and it never is personal, because a lot of times when people say things that aren't nice, they're not complimentary, but they're putting you down, or they're criticizing, it's often come from a place of their own insecurity. So when you recognize that it's not about you, it's about them, then you're less likely to take it personally. So these are some examples of the potential blind spots that we have when we're lacking in that self-awareness. And here's the thing, how we do one thing is how we do everything. And when we want to experience change in our life, in any aspect of our life, remember that how we're doing one thing is going to impact on how we do everything. And similar to my client that I mentioned earlier, that we had a coaching session this morning, and that's what he's realizing, that the challenges, the issues, the experiences he was having when he started working with me, although in different areas of his life, they're all now, he's recognizing they're all actually intertwined in the way that he had been showing up. And as he said in his words, everything comes back to me. It's not about my partner or my mother, my clients, or other people around me. Everything comes back to me. And it's not about the situations outside of you. It's about how we choose to live our life. And a really powerful place to start living that life from is developing that self-awareness. So that's my share for today, is bringing into your awareness that we all have blind spots. And no matter what's going on for us, the challenges, decisions we're needing to make, maybe situations in a relationship, personal or professional, perhaps we're feeling stuck, lacking the confidence, feeling that we're not enough, all of these things, most of the time, I can guarantee you are missing blind spots. So how do you start to open up those blind spots? In the same way that when you're driving, you have that mirror, the rear view mirror and the side mirrors, the wing mirrors that help you to see those blind spots. What can you do to help yourself to see those blind spots in your life? It's to build the self-awareness, tune into your inner self-talk, hone out the noise and let it go. Let go of people's opinions unless you truly value them and you know that they're coming from having your interests at heart. Check in with the fears and explore those and ask yourself, well, what are those fears stemming from? What is it that's created those fears for me? What has happened in the past that has me feeling the way I do now? And actually, what is the truth? What is the truth? Because I've heard people say to me so often, well, this has happened to me, so it's bound to happen again. Or the place that I work at is like this and it's going to be the same everywhere. These are all throwaway comments, they're generalizations, but the more that we say them, the more we believe them, the more they become our truth. Because remember, our brain looks for evidence to prove our beliefs to be true. And if you tune into the beliefs that you're holding on to and check in with whether they're serving you, if they're not serving you, start to explore them and let them go. Reframe those beliefs as something that will serve you, that will be more positive. I remember when I was still in employment and in my career, and I had a colleague of mine who's really unhappy and he was thinking about moving companies, and we were both in sales roles, and he said, oh, it's the same in every company, all sales teams are the same. And that's a great example of what's not true, because clearly it cannot be true. Not every single sales team and every single organization is going to be exactly the same. But when we say these throwaway comments, this is why language is so important. Listening to the language that you're using, the words that you put together, how you put them together. Because those small little throwaway comments can have a huge impact on your life. Because if you have such a belief that actually sales teams are the same everywhere, then, and for whatever reason, if they're not happy where they are and they believe it's the same everywhere else, then what you like to do, stay where you are and be unhappy, when actually you could, as I said, create possibilities and opportunities by opening your mind, changing your mindset, looking at things in a different way in order to help you to recognize and open up those opportunities. So everything comes back ultimately to you. And that's what I'm sharing today about blind spots, because we all have them. And for me, what's really helped me with recognizing my blind spots is having a coach, because a coach will challenge you. They will call you out on the BS that we all tell ourselves. They will be your absolute supporter and advocate and cheerleader, and will show you how amazing you truly are, because we never see that for ourselves. We can look in the mirror, we won't see it. But having someone else to support you, to guide you and show you that way and reframe those thoughts, those values, beliefs that maybe aren't serving you, will open up a world of opportunities. And that's what creates a massive self-awareness. because when I refer to how we do one thing as how we do everything, oftentimes, and you may have seen me share this on LinkedIn previously, on Facebook, is that, you know, if someone, let's say, comes to me for coaching around their career, the outcome, the end result, is not just that they get a new job or they get a pay rise. Yes, they do. They all do. But actually, their relationships improve, their health might improve, their well-being, the experiences that they're having, they recognize new opportunities. And that's the power of having someone to help you to recognize those blind spots. So I've shared with you today a number of best practices and strategies that you can take on that will help you to recognize those blind spots for yourself. And if you want that support to help you to recognize them faster, to move forward even quicker and propel yourself forward in your life, in your career, working with a coach can really help to accelerate that. It shifts the lens for you of how you experience the world, of what you see. And for me, it's about not living a life of average, not fearing change, not accepting what is, but what is possible for you. So I invite you to consider that, to take on board some of the shares today of how you can build that self-awareness and start to recognize and embrace those blind spots to create massive shift in your life. And if you are looking, of course, for help with that, then please do reach out. I'm happy to have a conversation with you and explore how I might be able to assist you. So Naab, hi, thank you for jumping on. Sorry, I didn't see you there earlier. If you're still on, thanks for being here. I hope this has been helpful. And if not, I will be catching up with you very soon. Any questions on anything I've shared today, then do please pop them in the comments or direct message me if you prefer. And before I head off, a quick reminder that my YouTube channel is now live. It has been live now for a few 3 or 4 months, I think. And you can catch previous episodes of My Brand Lives there. You can also catch all of the videos of my podcasts, which have been running now for 18 months, on there as well. So Sharon, I know, will pop the link into the comments below for you. So if you haven't already done so, head over to YouTube now, subscribe to my channel so you'll get updated notifications when we upload new content there for you. There's a stream of content there that can support you in so many different ways. So head over and see what resonates with you and do check it out. And of course, until next time, remember to build your influence, to make an impact, and to be remembered for the right reasons by showing up as the best version of you. So until next time, do take care of yourselves. Have a great week and weekend, and I will see you next week.